इस वीडियो में हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं ऑर्थेलो के सारे क्वेश्चन आंसर के ऊपर। स्टार्ट करते हैं। आर यू रेडी विथ योर पेन एंड पेपर? देन टाइप रेडी इन द चैट बॉक्स। ओके, मेरा पूरा फोकस अभी क्वेश्चन पे, धड़ाधड़ क्वेश्चन देने पे, इसलिए हम अभी चैट को ज्यादा पढ़ नहीं पाते, कमेंट्स को। लेकिन आप लोग अपना पूरा डेडिकेशन के साथ इसको पूरा देखो, ठीक है? ओके, रेडी, लेट्स स्टार्ट। Othello. Tragedy lies in then sorry. Trust on Igo. Next, Othello first gift to this Dimuna was handkerchief. का पहला गिफ्ट क्या रहता है? Handkerchief. Next, Othello has promoted Cassio to the rank of lieutenant. The Turks had prepared to invade Cyprus. Next, Othello accused Desdemona of being unfaithful. आई होप आपको स्टोरी इसका पता है, तब ज्यादा टकाटक हो पाएगा, ठीक है? नेक्स्ट टू ओथेलो, Desdemona had faith on Cassio. In describing Othello's restlessness by drugs that Shakespeare mentioned as failing to bring his peace of mind are Pobby and Mondragora. Igo was crafty, who was promoted to the rank of general by Othello to Cassio. Next, Othello was highly esteemed and revered because he was a valiant soldier. Desdemona was the daughter of Bramantio. Othello is a tragedy. Othello is written by Shakespeare. तुमको पता है, तुम लोगों का तीन स्टोरी है, मैकबेथ, एज यू लाइक इट एंड ओथेलो। ये तीनों शेक्सपियर का देना है। Brabantio was a rich senator. Next, Desdemona was gentle and beautiful. Brabantio was the father of Desdemona. Many well-known young men wished to marry Desdemona because of her virtuous qualities and blue blood. नेक्स्ट, ब्लू ब्लड मतलब वो ब्लू वाला ब्लड का बात नहीं है, ये एक फ्रेज है, कहावत है, ब्लू ब्लड। Desdemona respected human heart. Desdemona respected human heart. Next, Othello was a Moor, a soldier. Othello was valiant. Othello had been promoted to the rank of a general. Othello found a bloody fight against the Turks. Desdemona was enchanted by the adventurous stories. Desdemona loved deeply Othello. Othello got married. Othello got married Desdemona secretly. ठीक है, चुपके से शादी हो जाता है, उन लोग का विवाह हो जाता है। नेक्स्ट, anthropophagi were man-eaters. At the end of Othello's story, Desdemona would always sigh. When Brambantio heard the news of his daughter's marriage to Othello, he became furious. वो furious हो जाती है। Brabantio complained against Othello to the Duke of Venice. Brabantio accused Othello of casting a spell and witchcraft. Cyprus was under the Venetian laws. When Brabantio accused Othello for marrying Desdemona, Venice was in urgent need of Othello. The service of Othello were required because the Turks were moving towards the island of Cyprus. Island of Cyprus. When Othello was summoned at the Senate, he narrated the tale of his with artless eloquence. Next, the story of his love Othello depicted before the Senate melted the heart of ड्यूक एंड ब्रेंटिनो दोनों मतलब दोनों का रहता है ड्यूक का भी एंड ब्रेमेंटियो का भी द स्टेटमेंट मेड ओथेलो बिफोर द कोर्ट वाज कंफर्म्ड बाय डेस्डिमोना डेस्डिमोना promised before court that now she has a higher duty to perform for her lover and husband Othello. Finally, Bramantio had no other option but to accept Othello as his son-in-law. What caution did Bramantio convey to Othello? The answer is Desdemona could deceive Othello, who was accompanied Othello to Cyprus. Desdemona. Cyprus, Othello's most trusted general, lost Cassio. As soon as Othello reached the Cyprus, he heard the news that the Turks' ships had been sunk by tempest. Beside being amorous and pleasing, Cassio was a young artist. Whom did Desdemona value and trust next to Othello? The answer is C. Cassio. Othello narrated his love affair with beautiful Desdemona to Cassio. The name of Iago's wife is Emilia. ये सब नाम है रे, सब्जी का नाम नहीं है, आदमी का नाम है, पर्सन का नाम है, इमिलिया. ठीक है, खट्टापन आ गया होगा थोड़ा सा. चलो. Cassio's promotion made Ego furious. Ego possessed the quality of wickedness. Ego and great hatred are both Othello and Cassio. Ego wrongly doubted Emilia. Wild with envy, Ego was planning to ruin Othello, Cassio, Desdemona, all of the above, all of them. ठीक है, आइगो वॉज प्लानिंग टू रुइन, तीनों को रुइन कर देने का प्लान करती है. द क्राफ्टी आइगो न्यू दैट द मोस्ट, ठीक है, दैट द मोस्ट intolerable pain on the earth is jealousy. Igo planned to make Othello envious of Cassio. Envious of Cassio. The news of dispersion of enemies fleet created a sort of holiday mood in the island. Othello gave strict orders to Cassio to keep the soldiers from yelling. Igo enticed Cassio to have a drink. The person who made an evil plan for the riot in the island that night was Igo. When Cassio was completely drunk, he started glorifying Desdemona as a most exquisite lady. At the end of the feast, Cassio got engaged in a scuffle. The worthy of feel interested to pacify and injured in the dispute was Montano. The person who was responsible to spread the message of a dangerous immunity was Igo. The ringing of the bell awoke Othello. The man who possesses strict principle was Othello. Next, the furious Othello demoted Cassio from the rank of lieutenant. Next, the artful Iago advised Cassio to ask Desdemona to beg Othello to give him back his rank of lieutenant. Next, the person mentioned as Cassio's seeming friend in the tragedy is Iago, who was ashamed and looked down upon himself to be drunk on that night. किसको शर्म आ जाता है? Answer is Cassio को शर्म आ जाता है. Desdemona begged Othello to forgive Cassio in the next night or next morning. When Iago and Othello got into the room, Desdemona was present there with Cassio. किसके साथ present थी? Cassio के साथ. I like not that the significant speech was uttered by Iago. The man enticed Othello to be skeptical to his wife, Iago. The implantation of jealousy by Iago made Othello restless कर दिया था. To think Desdemona dishonest, Othello demanded a proof. वो proof मांगा था कि वो dishonest है, बेईमान है. The disposition of the Italian ladies was known to Iago. The handkerchief was stolen by Emilia. The handkerchief was strawberry spotted. उसमें strawberry का वो डिजाइन था, spotted था. The strawberry spotted handkerchief was handed over to Othello's mother by an Egyptian woman. द्वारा हैंड ओवर किया जाता है. What broke Othello's heart was suspicion. It is a magical handkerchief. This remark was made by ये कौन किए थे? Othello. The handkerchief was dropped on Cassio's way by Emilia, who had the strawberry spotted handkerchief in the Cassio room. Iago. Desdemona was bewildered by Othello's strange behavior to Cassio out of jealousy. Desdemona was awakened by Othello's kisses. Desdemona कैसे जगती है? Othello के kisses से. Next, Othello strangled Desdemona till she died. What proved Cassio and Desdemona's innocence? A letter से prove होता है. Who ordered to employ that assassinator to kill Cassio? Iago. When Othello became aware of his guilt, he killed himself with his sword. अपने तलवार से उसका मर्डर कर दिया था. The dead body of Othello fell upon the lifeless body of his Desdemona. The Venetians reminisced the former merits and valiant act of Othello. The state of Venice resolved the execution of Iago with strict tortures. Othello could not understand Desdemona's love. Desdemona considered men by their character. उसके चरित्र से उसको consider करती थी. Next, Othello's heart was broken by Desdemona infidelity. Next, Desdemona was awakened by Othello's kiss से वो जग जाती है. Iago sent one of his men to kill Othello. Name is Othello. Next, The word in the passage that means sleep is a slumber. Next, Ivo was crafty. Next, in describing Othello's restlessness, the drugs that Shakespeare mentioned as the falling to bring him peace of mind are poppy and mandogra. The Turks had prepared to invade Cyprus. Othello's had promoted Cassio to the rank of lieutenant. कितना बड़ा बात होगा ये। और आज का मूर्ख प्रश्न 101वां प्रश्न, सेंचुरी हम लोग का लग चुका है, अब 101वां प्रश्न, ठीक है। दैट इज ओथेलो एक्यूज डिस्डिमोना ऑफ बीइंग अनफेथफुल। तो ये हम लोग का हो गया ओथेलो का सारा क्वेश्चन और आंसर। एग्जाम के एक रात पहले हम लोग आने वाले हैं लाइव 8 बजे आकर के बात करने वाले हैं। जरूर से ज्वाइन करें, उसमें बहुत सारा कुछ टिप्स भी शेयर करने वाले हैं कि कैसे एग्जाम को बहुत अच्छे से करना है और इसके अलावा एग्जाम के बाद कैसे कैसे चलना है। ठीक है, तो इस वीडियो में इतना ही, धन्यवाद।